else?
Uh-oh.
But we are live. So
I feel live.
you know
I'm
what?
alive.
Something would have probably been good to test before we went live, but you know what? Fuck it, because we are who we are. If I play music on my end, do you guys hear it? Let's see.
What are you saying? Oh,
Got it. Okay.
wait, did you pause it right away?
I
heard
paused it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I was
thank
like, did it cut out?
For the
I heard
podcast,
the good part.
this is getting cut. But for the stream, people can watch us figure shit out on the fly.
That's good.
Sure.
Figure shit out on the fly. Okay.
That's good.
Figure shit out on the fly. Okay.
Whoa, what's
Can't do
happening?
that. Can't
Yeah,
do that.
you're gonna have to turn the sound off or something.
Can't do that. Okay. That is good. That is good. We just have to. I tweeted it out. All good. Probably gonna get no one to watch it live. I'm
Alright.
okay with that too. I don't care. So we're 3, 2, 1 ready to go. So 3, 2, 1. MLSAces episode 166. This is your host, Tom SamXIII. And if you guys are watching us, then congratulations, because you're watching our first ever episode live on Twitch. And I'm also going to be putting this up on YouTube afterwards, but you can watch us live on Twitch. I guess we're going to do this from now on, guys. But joined with me up on the top row next to me, Sam. How are you doing, Sam?
It's me. Hello.
Hello. Hey, Sam. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm doing really good. This is fun and different. I'm really, really enjoying this so far.
Yeah, I mean, you guys watching, or if you watch now live after, whatever it may be, you can appreciate the backgrounds. You can appreciate my background of me moving out soon, so I got boxes and shit going on. Jason, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I was actually just showing off my background because it's wonderful.
Can you show off Basti?
Here's my background.
Oh yeah. Let me grab him.
Yeah, come on. We need a little
Here's a good old
Hey.
Bastion.
Bastion Schweinsteiger, baby. Love it.
There we go. Here we go.
All right.
Good guy, Bastion.
R.I.P. to that logo, you know.
Oh God, you had to bring that up right now.
I heard they're rebranding already, though, Jason. It's fine.
Perhaps, yeah.
They're already going for something new. So
I assume they've already contacted you.
Yeah, they have. We're talking.
That's good.
Behind
So
me,
you get your money out of it.
Me and Joe Mansueto would text on the regular.
I mean, I FaceTime him, so you're
What?
Yeah, you're a little behind me.
I don't know him. If it makes you feel better.
That does. Thank you, Sam. I needed that.
Obviously, there's a lot going on around U.S. soccer, right? We have an NWSL franchise moving back to its original city. We have the U.S. men's national team out here winning games 30-0, like they're the U.S. women's national team against Thailand. We have the U.S. women's national team playing games. We have a lot going on, but we're going to save that for maybe another episode or two, including the Greg Vanny conversation that I do want to have with you guys. But for right now, obviously, the biggest thing going on around U.S. soccer is MLS Cup this weekend, 8:30 Eastern time on Fox. Seattle Sounders are traveling to Map Free Stadium in Columbus, Ohio, to take on the Columbus Crew. It's been an insane playoff, guys. And I know that, we've been talking about it, whether it's been all three of us, just one-off conversations, whatever it may be. But kind of initial just first thoughts of like, it's MLS Cup time. Like, MLS Cup is here. It's here. Jason, I'll go to you first. Like, I love this time of year. How are you feeling?
I mean, I love this time of year as well. It feels, I don't know, this year has been so weird.
Yeah.
With MLS is back, and then there was like that break, kind of. Well, was there a break? I don't even remember.
A few weeks, maybe.
Oh yeah, a few
It felt
weeks.
like there was
Then like we had games again, and then they were like, yeah, the MLS is back tournament attributed to points for the season. And then it just like it started to feel a lot more natural, I'd say, in like the past month going into the playoffs. And then decision day was great, as it always is. And now that the playoffs are here, like it's kind of like makes me forget about COVID a little bit. It's like, oh yeah, we got MLS playoffs. Like it's all normal. It's all normal. And then they like show the stadium, and I'm like, oh, it's not normal.
Oh, there's no one there. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're playing in Seattle. Oh, there's what? There's no one there.
Exactly. And I mean, so Sam, I want to get your take on how you're feeling right now during this whole time, because Jason, you bring up an awesome point about COVID that I wasn't even thinking about. Like this entire season has made me get a little bit of a break from COVID, right? Like I completely agree with that. But Sam, I don't know, you have anything else you're feeling around MLS Cup time?
Yeah, MLS Cup is it's the most wonderful time of the year, right? You know, Christmas is coming up, or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa, or whatever we all celebrate. We get MLS Cup, which is really exciting. The middle of the European season is upon us. Like this is a great time of year, and I really enjoy it. And yeah, like Jason said, it's weird to kind of see empty stadiums, things like that, no fans, and then it's weirder to see a few fans. I think that's pretty weird.
Yeah.
So that part makes me a little uncomfortable. But like seeing 2,500 fans at the U.S. game tonight was a little bit weird. But I enjoy this. This makes me happy. It gives me that little bit of normalcy back, while also still reminding me, like, hey, we're in a pandemic. This happened despite a pandemic, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and you know, Major League Soccer lost $1 billion this year, and people got fired, and all fun stuff. Right?
Seattle Sounders are still in MLS Cup final, so
everything's
where it should be. I assume.
All right, so I mean, before we kind of dive into the Sounders talk and the Crew talk, and you know, eventually what we're going to get down to being our picks for MLS Cup, a few, I guess, housekeeping things. That was the word I was trying to think of. You guys can follow us along MLSAces.com, constantly posting blogs, any kind of updates we have. You can check out everyone who kind of helps out with the site and whatever it may be. If you guys want to help support us, help support everything we're doing, you guys can go to patreon.com/MLSAces. You can even become an ace hole, join our group chat and everything like that. If you guys want to follow us on Twitter, it's at Tom Swees and at MLS Aces. I mainly use at MLS Aces, but at Tom Swees is my personal one. Sam, you are at Uncle_Sam XIII. Still got it. And
we need that down
still
here.
got it.
You know what, Jason?
Next down below.
That's a good point.
I like being down below you guys because I can point to this stuff.
Yeah,
Jason, if we do anything, you just need to point down.
Yeah, designated pointer.
Yeah. Our designated pointer, Jason Vivang. You can follow him at Jason Vivang. I'll get those. Yeah, very simple. I'll get those Twitters up at some point during this whole conversation when you guys are talking. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The last thing I have to say is this episode of the MLS Aces podcast is brought to you guys by Added Time Outfitters. We love Added Time Outfitters here at MLS Aces because we love the beautiful game. We love soccer, and this weekend MLS Cup is coming up, and we are going to continuously talk about it, tweet about it, do whatever we can to get ourselves pumped up and to get you guys pumped up about talking about soccer, MLS, and MLS Cup. You know, there's been countless memories within the past few years of Seattle raising the cup, Toronto raising the cup, Atlanta threw their name in there for a year as well. And any way to really kind of connect to those memories, if you're a fan of Seattle, Toronto, Atlanta, whoever else has won.
Portland threw their name in there.
Exactly. Anyone, Portland, Portland, fucking Jason.
Jason.
I play into it.
You guys can pick up your very own Added Time Outfitter bracelet. I got mine on right here. I got my NYCFC one on. They don't have a cup, but they still have a bracelet up on the site. You guys can add your very own soccer-inspired wristband from Added Time Outfitters that let you just wear those soccer memories on your wrist. Each reversible elastic design gives supporters of the beautiful game a unique way to rep their favorite team in any kind of setting. With wristbands from your favorite teams across Europe, the United States, and beyond, Added Time Outfitters designs and incorporates a 90-minute story from every famous match into your wristband on your wrist. You can check out all 24+ designs on Added Time Outfitters' current website at addedtime.com. You can follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at Added Time Outfitters. Please go follow them. Use the promo code MLSAces and get 20% off your entire order. The holidays are right around the corner, like Sam said before. Whatever holiday you celebrate, you're giving gifts. It's that wonderful time of year. So go over to Edit Time Outfitters. Go over to edittime.com. Use promo code MLSAces and get 20% off your order and everything like that. So, guys, link Jason point down below. Edit Time, that's the link for them here. You can check that out there. But guys, let's talk about MLS Cup because, like I said, MLS Cup is this Saturday. I love that it's on a Saturday. I feel like the past few years it's been on like a Sunday, and it's kind of been like meh. But I'm very, very excited. I kind of want to recap a little bit how these teams have got here because just in case someone isn't paying attention, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you should probably be paying attention. But the Columbus Crew, first round of the playoffs, eliminate the Red Bulls 3-2. Then they go on to Nashville, find two late goals, and they eliminate Nashville 2-0. And then last weekend, we saw them get past the Revs 1-0. In the West, you have
now
the
you
Seattle
guys can
Sound.
see me do shit. Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Come on, I picked Nashville. Darn.
We all picked Nashville. And
it's okay. I completely picked the wrong MLS Cup final.
In the West, you got the Sounders out in the Western Conference, right? They finished second behind Sporting Kansas City, but they made it to the Cup over SKC. They had a nice little run themselves. They defeated LAFC without Golden Boot winner Diego Rossi. Then they go on and they faced FC Dallas, which I almost got right. I almost got that right, and they beat them 1-0.
I almost went 100%. Yeah. I almost picked every pick right this entire time. Almost.
Except for the picks he got wrong. He was almost
except for those. Just throw those away, and then I got them all right.
That's fine.
I'll get your record in a second, Jason, because your record went downhill. But
it's been feeling that way for a while. So we might as well.
After Seattle handled FC Dallas, they went last weekend in an absolute classic game against Minnesota, came back, won 3-2, and this is where we're at. Seattle, like I said before, traveling to Map Free, the last ever, I think, final that's ever going to be played at Map Free. This is a big moment, and this is a big moment for both clubs right now. So you guys want to talk about the East or the West first? Sam, I'll let you pick.
Let's talk about the East first. Let's talk about this Columbus team.
Okay. Do you want to take the reins on kind of this game this past weekend?
Yeah, it was not what I was expecting. I mean, not that I previewed the Eastern Conference final. That was you guys, but I did say I thought the Revs were going to win, and I really expected the Revs to come out. Oh, that's true. That's true. You did. That's true. So thank you, Jason, for being on my side.
Yeah, it's a good side. We were almost right.
Yeah, we were almost right by one goal. The same way Tom was almost right about Dallas. It was by a goal. I mean, to be fair,
you can see
New England was the 8th seed. So I don't know what was to be expected if there was some playoff burnout or anything, but Columbus looked good. They carried the game. And it was just one of those things where sorry, my stats went to the wayside for a second. They just kept hitting it. And it just kept going, and I was like sorry, not Minnesota. New England's gonna get one back. They're gonna get one back. I can just kind of feel this. This is gonna be fine.
Yes.
No, they didn't. No amount of Gustavo Bo and Carlos Hill could save me on that day, or the rest of Boston.
I mean, Jason, those were your boys, Bo and Heel, and at the end of the day, just didn't get the job done.
I mean, they had a lot of minutes, right? Cut them a break.
I mean, they have, I think, legit played every minute of the playoffs.
I mean, yes, for sure. They did. The Revs did have a lot of minutes under the belt overall, so I'm sure a lot of those guys, were absolutely exhausted at the end of the day. But the Eastern Conference final, I thought was, looking back, right, it wasn't as exciting as the West, but it was still a very good game at the end of the day. A really, really good defense and a really good goalkeeper in Matt Turner really did their best to slow down that high-powered attack of Pedro Santos, Giassi Zardes, Lucas Zelarayan, whoever it may be. And I really want to give the Revs their credit, but at the end of the day, the Crew are super talented. The Crew are super deep. And that's why they're moving forward in my book, because they did what they had to do against a very, very hot defense against a team that didn't have their star DPs for the entire season, but had them for the playoffs. And in the playoffs, Heel and Bo looked fantastic, but the Crew were just that much better at the end of the day. I mean, that's all I really have to say about the Eastern Conference Final.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of just comes down to I mean, I think we can all agree overall. I think Jason, you and I both said our brains are saying Columbus, but our hearts are saying Revs, and it's like, I mean, our brains were 100% right. Like you said, Tom. I'm really just blanking on names. The Crew were really good.
Everyone knew the Crew had the superior team. I mean, ranking, by every metric, but it just felt like it was the right time for New England to just continue this, and I wanted it to continue, and I guess that's why our heart was in it, but our head obviously was the Crew are better, but there's a chance.
No, and the only thing I really want to say about this Crew run right now, and it's a point I want to touch on a little bit later, is that, for the second straight game in these playoffs, they're working with a backup keeper in Andrew Tarbell, who made me put my foot in my mouth after what I said about him last week on the podcast. Back-to-back shutouts, looked very steady in net. And also another week where Derek Etienne Jr. Had to sit out because of COVID, and Luis Diaz had to fill in, and Luis Diaz put in a solid shift as well. So I have to give Diaz and Tarbell their shout outs, because they're filling in for Room and Etienne. And, at the end of the day, they've helped their team get to an MLS Cup. So fantastic, side for them that I want to give them, their credit for. But let's jump to the Sounders, right? The Sounders, their Western Conference final against Minnesota was insane. Absolutely nuts. Reynoso working with a beautiful 65 minutes pretty much worth of work. It just seemed like it was him alone that got Minnesota up 2-0. Minnesota, Adrian Heath, they're going to MLS Cup final, and Adrian Heath
was weird.
Completely just 360'd his whole reputation in MLS in these 65 minutes. But then Seattle decides to Seattle. People start to wake up. Schmetzer throws in Will Bruin. Will Bruin kind of changes things with that first goal he scores. And at the end of the day, Rui Diaz is unmarked in the box. He puts it away. Gustav Svensson scores the winner. Seattle Sounders are absolutely insane with just how much they're consistent, how much talent they have, and how much they just don't quit for 90 minutes.
I was looking at as we're in 2020, obviously. I was trying to see who has had the best decade, right? Because obviously the Sounders are having an unreal finish to this decade. The Galaxy kind of would be the other team that kind of dominated the beginning of the decade. And then maybe you could throw in Toronto, but I just don't think Toronto has the MLS Cups to really claim that. So I don't know. I think it'd be pretty tight between the Galaxy and the Sounders, but Sounders have just been unbelievable. If they win this, I don't know. This run
kind of over with at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, this is their fourth final trip in 5 years. They're going to be looking to win their third MLS Cup, tacked on with the other U.S. Open Cups that they've won this decade. That's a fair point that, everyone's giving them the dynasty talk. Are the Seattle Sounders a dynasty? And I think even if they lose this game, I would say yes, just because they've
4 finals in 5 years is a dynasty, regardless of the outcomes.
They've just been the most consistent team. Out of every single team in Major League Soccer, you've seen the Atlantas at their peak, but then they fall off. You see LAFC from last year to this year. You see what the Galaxy have come in 10 years. You see everything, right? The Seattle Sounders are the only team in Major League Soccer that every single year you're they're making a final, or they're going to be a top 2 seed in the West, and they're going to be a run, and they're going to do their thing, right? And it's insane. It really is insane, and I don't know. It's just it's crazy how much talent is going to be on this field Saturday night. It really is.
Well, it kind of goes back to this game as well. This Sounders just coming back versus Minnesota. It's you can't really count them out. And it's been for the last 5 years, even down 2-0, they're able to bring on players like Gustav Svensson and Will Bruin, who just completely can change the game. And I know we talk a lot about depth on Columbus's side, but like in this game, like these have to be the two deepest teams in the league.
I mean, that's a fair point. That's a question I wanted to get to, right? So one of my biggest concerns that kind of when I was starting to like differentiate these teams, how am I gonna like talk to you guys about this? How am I gonna pick who's gonna be better, who's gonna win over the other? This starting 11s are like pretty much equal across the board. Like whether it's Eloy Room in net or whether it's Stefan Fry in net, I think like Andrew Tarbell had his shout and he's been hot and no one's really talking about it, right? So I think when you equal it out, if you're looking at position by position, it's pretty equal across the board. Like position group, like I think Crew might be better, Seattle might be better in the attack, midfield kind of equal, whatever it may be, right? My biggest thing when I was looking at this is the bench, and the Columbus Crew are not so deep on the bench, like in my opinion. If Derek Etienne Jr. starts, you have Luis Diaz coming off the bench. If you have Diaz starting, Etienne Jr. is coming off the bench. Okay, fine. That's a really good piece there. They have Emma Boateng. They have Christian Nemeth. They have no one else really. It's the Crew. The Crew are very, very lackluster on the bench. Well, Jason, what you just said about the Sounders, they're bringing on Will Bruin. They're bringing on Roman Torres. They're bringing on Xavier Arriaga, Brad Smith. I can't even think of the right back that it was their starter, Leerdam, Kelvin Leerdam,
Oh, yeah, Leerdam.
You're bringing on dudes who would be easy starters on other teams. And, like, Columbus has, Luis Diaz or Derek Etienne Jr. to me. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about, like, the depth on the bench, I guess?
I mean, for Seattle, like, you even seen guys like Shane O'Neill starting.
Yeah.
And, like, their back line alone, like you said, Kelvin Leerdam, Roman Torres, and Brad Smith, they're the guys who are being subbed on in a lot of these games.
They were starters last time they were in MLS Cup.
Yeah, and, I mean, I think they still could be starters. Like,
yeah.
Are we convinced Shane O'Neill and who's the other one? Gomez?
Yeah, Yandre Gomez.
Yeah. Are we like maybe they aren't starting this game? Maybe there's a different combination. I don't know. But just the fact that you have that depth on the back line, I think is especially like really a huge asset to them. And that's just one section of the field. But having a back line that if someone is, getting tired late game, you can put pressure on the Crew by just locking it down back there.
No, 100%. Sam, you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I pretty much just agree with what Jason said. I mean, you go through the roster for Seattle, that's even their depth pieces are like really good pieces, like you said, Tom. And then you got to go to the Crew roster, start kind of going through the names, and you just kind of hit a point where it's like, all right, I haven't heard of you if I don't watch a lot of Crew games. So, and it's like you look at the Seattle roster, and I know I've obviously watched a lot more Seattle games, especially recently. But it's like, man, I know these guys, and that's to your point, like that MLS depth where you kind of expect these guys to be playing if they were on a different team, and if these guys that were backups for the Crew were on a different team, would it be different? I'm not really sure. And so to be able to kind of have that depth, to be able to this is going to go into a different point, but to have someone like Gareth Lagerwey, the GM, to be able to bring a team like this together, where you have these guys like Gustav Svensson who can be a bench piece or a starter in the midfield, like bring back Roman Torres from Miami, who at this point now is a depth piece, who was a starter for. Was he a starter in MLS Cup last year? Because I know he was the first time.
Maybe not last year, but
I mean, he was the first time to bring in Miguel Ibarra. Alex Roldan obviously has had a huge role this year after getting drafted. Like I said last week, for mostly being Christian Roldan's brother. Like this team is built, and it's built to win. And Gareth Lagerwey knows exactly what he's doing, and I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. And I think Seattle's just built differently. God, that's a cliche. Seattle's built differently. They are.
Well, it's also like a cliche to be like, yeah, they're also built to like never really give up. but like it's clear like they just went into this game.
Yeah.
They're down 2-0, 65th, 75th minute. They're like, all right, we'll just go get 3. Like,
Can go get win.
scores a goal in the 89th and like the 93rd minute.
Yeah.
Not many teams, I think, are going to push for that late in a game.
Well, it's nice when you can sub on Will Bruin, who
probably starts on most teams.
People forget how good he was with the Dynamo, and then he heads over to Seattle, right? Where he's a backup to Rui Diaz. Like, I don't think
but Rui Diaz is like the top.
He's the real deal.
I mean, if you listen to Matt Doyle said it on Extra Time, I think a few days ago, Rui Diaz is the greatest per 90 goal scorer in MLS history, per numbers. So, like, Rui Diaz is legit. You have Will Bruin backing him up. And, then you look at Ladero, Jordan Morris, Jovan Jones. You have so many guys who just, like, they're just fantastic, right? And that's why, to me, if you're comparing the two attacks, I take Seattle's attack over the Crew's. But on the flip side of that conversation, you can't knock the Columbus Crew because Giassi's artist is fantastic. I'm not saying he's Raul Ruiz Diaz, but he's not far off from that level if you're looking at like a list of strikers in Major League Soccer. You have Pedro Santos, who I think has 2 goals in these playoffs so far. And you have Lucas Zelarayan, who, coming over from Liga MX, has been an absolute stud, wins the Newcomer of the Year award, and in these playoffs has 4 MLS assists, so 4 secondary assists. So he's been the guy who's been doing that pass before the pass, creating everything before the final goal. And I really like this Crew attack too. Like that, it's tough to really differentiate the two, but this Crew, we gotta give them their credit.
Yeah, I mean, listen to these numbers for like Seattle. Morris had 10 goals, 8 assists this year. Lodiero had 7 goals, 10 assists, and Rui Diaz had 12 goals, 4 assists. Like, that's insane output for like
numbers.
3 attacking. But I agree with Zelarayan and Zardes, and like I would agree, like Seattle, I would lean towards as having the superior attack just because of those names and that output and that form. Like, even in the playoffs, I think they're still on great form right now. I saw something that said like Rui Diaz has played 9 playoff games for Seattle, and he has like 9 goals and 4 assists or something wild.
Well, Rui Diaz in playoffs has 2 goals and an assist, and then an MLS assist tacked on to it too. If you
this year or like
this year?
No, I know. I was saying like for his career.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean that's
so yeah,
different numbers.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
not bad. They're not a bad team. I mean, if we're gonna be honest, like if it wasn't gonna be Philly or Toronto, like it does make sense that we're seeing Columbus in this final, really.
I mean, I picked Columbus to be the number 1 seed in the East for a reason, guys. Columbus,
all right,
super talented.
Pat yourself on the back of that one.
So, obviously, we were talking a little bit earlier today and everything like that, and I was going through a shit ton of stats today, kind of just running through like team stats, player stats, all-time matchups, all this crap because I'm insane. But the overall defenses that both of these teams have had to face, like quality-wise, when you're looking at like regular season stats, is insane. So I don't want to get this wrong, so I'm reading it here. The Columbus Crew, they've played so far in these playoffs 2 top 6 defenses from this MLS regular season and 3 top 15 defenses. So they're winning, they're getting by. Yeah, they scored 1 against New England and 2 against Nashville late, but they're still scoring and getting by some really, really high quality defenses. And then on the flip side of things, Seattle, they've played 2 top 10 defenses, and then the third defense was LAFC, which is like 19th overall in the league. If you're just looking at goals allowed. So both teams have gone up against some really, really top competition defensively, and they're going to continue that because the Crew, they were the 2nd best defense in MLS, and Seattle was the 4th best defense in MLS. So
Jonathan Mensah's pretty good.
Yeah. Team of the season. I mean,
pretty good.
Like, it's I think people are expecting a lot of firepower in this game, obviously by the offenses we were just talking about, but the defenses for both of these teams are very, very good. And it could be a situation, I feel like, what was it, MLS Cup like 4 years ago or 3 years ago?
Oh, God, the Seattle-Toronto first time.
I'm not
Oh,
no. Decide it.
Did you just curse the game?
Oh, God. Everyone was like, oh, both their defenses are like 1 and 2 in the league. Seattle had no shots on goal and 1 in PKs. Oh, God.
I was saying more like it could be like a similar to like the late Josie Altidore-esque like game winner, like 1-0 or like 2-1 type of game. Like that's what I'm
the year after.
You're not thinking 7-5?
Yeah, no.
Oh.
I think Rui Diaz, by those stats you were telling me before, has scored 7. So I mean,
yeah, he has to. So
he's like keep up pace, you know.
That was my prediction actually. 9 goals, 4 assists. So he's got a long way to go.
Gotta keep that pace going.
5 goals in this game? What? All from Rui Diaz?
The other stat that I looked up that I thought was interesting was the types of offenses that they were playing, and this kind of leans it a little bit more in Seattle's favor, in my opinion. But Seattle, they've played 2 top 10 offenses, and they've allowed 3 goals in 3 games, so pretty good. While the Crew, they've played 0 top 10 offenses, and obviously they allowed 2 goals in 1 game, and they've had 2 back-to-back shutouts, so it makes sense. But does that play a factor in what you guys are thinking about anything? Because obviously, like, I also want to throw that out there. Like, I don't know what you guys are picking for your MLS Cup picks either. So I just want to fire. Yeah. Fasty, baby.
I mean, I think to your point about like the stats about the offense is like what a lot of that it seems to tend to lead to like the East had a lot more upsets I think than the West did. Like New England beating Supporters Shield winning Philly right away, Nashville winning, things like that. Like that really was very surprising compared to Seattle's the 2 seed. They went all the way in. Sporting Kansas City, lost to the 4 seed Minnesota, who might have been the surprise. But really, I think like Columbus had an easier road. I love you, Columbus fan, because of upsets more than like Seattle played who they had to play because everything kind of lined up in an order. I don't remember the question. I just wanted to make that point.
That's fine. I was about to get myself in trouble with what I was about to say, so I held back a little bit. All right. So I want to focus on who you start, who you don't start, because there's questions on both sides, in my opinion, on
I like this.
Some major players that could potentially be starting or coming off the bench. I think we see them anyway, but let's just go with this. So for the Columbus Crew, this is the obvious, easy ones. Potentially, due to COVID, we still may not see Derek Etienne Jr. and Eloy Room because of the amount of days you need to have quarantined. Plus, they've been out 14 days training, getting fitness levels up, whatever it may be.
That's tough.
This is obvious a complete case of if everybody is fully healthy, fully able to go, and everything like that.
Matt Lamson?
I mean, maybe. Maybe. That'd be a surprise pick. But Jason, I'll go first.
Drops his Twitter down below right away.
For the Crew and net.
Oh, shit.
You know who's talking when the Twitter's coming up. For the Crew and net, if you have a healthy Eloy Room is available to play, and you have Andrew Tarbell who's coming off back-to-back shutouts, who are you going with the net?
That's actually like a little bit difficult. I would probably still pick Eloy Room, but the form that Tarbell's on is really impressive.
Yeah. And
I think it's like one of those things where if Eloy Room comes back and he looks good, because having COVID and that can affect people in many different ways. So like, I don't know how bad it is for Eloy Room, and if he's, having trouble breathing or whatever it may be, like he obviously shouldn't start. That's like a liability. And then Tarbell, like you can't really go wrong. I would play Eloy Room if he's fully healthy.
Okay. Samuel?
Yeah. I have to agree with Jason. Like if Eloy Room is healthy,
thank you,
and he hasn't had lung problems the way some people who've gotten COVID have, then yeah, I would play Eloy Room. He was their starter during the year. He was solid at the back. It was really good. I mean, it's been nice that they have that problem where Andrew Tarbell, who kind of just comes in, was expected to be a backup all year, barely play, comes in, gets 2 straight shutouts. Like, that's really great. But how much of that was more the defense than him? Eloy Room probably can still make the same saves if fully healthy. So I'd probably pick Room if there was nothing wrong between the two.
There you go, Jason. I disagree with you guys like wholeheartedly. I think even if you have a fully healthy Eloy Room, I don't think you should sit a guy who's on back-to-back shutouts. I think he's at 8 saves.
Yeah, but against what you said were shitty offenses.
Yeah, shitty offenses during the regular season. But during the regular season, the Revs didn't have Carlos Gil, and the Revs didn't have a fully healthy Gustavo Bo. So maybe
I feel like a hot hand in the playoffs doesn't mean as much in soccer as it does in like hockey.
I think it can at certain positions.
Right, but like specifically in goal, I feel like a hot hand doesn't matter as much because you don't know how the midfield. I feel like the midfield will tell a lot more about a story than hello.
You don't think a healthy Matt Turner got the Revs to where, like a hot Matt Turner got the Revs to where they were?
No. So here's what I'm gonna do, Tom. I'm gonna lay some stuff on you. Okay. I have been told by many a person that Matt Turner is 10 times better than Zach Steffen is currently. So currently, without being on a hot hand, Matt Turner supposedly is better than the U.S. men's national team number 1. Therefore, it shouldn't matter.
What?
Yep. It doesn't make sense to me either.
I don't think that answered my question, but
Matt Turner supposedly is the best keeper the U.S. men's national team could possibly have right now. Therefore,
shut out
no, it shouldn't matter. I was told this today on Twitter that it doesn't matter that Zach Steffen just kept a shutout against Olympique Marseille in the Champions League because Matt Turner statistically in XG is better. So
okay,
take that for data.
I'm just gonna So Matt Turner theoretically, even if he wasn't hot, should have done better.
I don't know where to go with that.
I don't know what your question was.
I'm just going to transition back to this question now.
Okay. So I really hope everyone's like watching the video of this. I feel like the faces are perfect.
Yeah, if you're not, then check it out on YouTube and Twitch afterwards. But I'm still going Andrew Tarbell. I understand.
I just can't believe you would say that.
And look, I said some mean things about Andrew.
Yeah, you're talking shit about him like just last week?
What is this? But
what is
man.
This is like
the podcast. He put it in his
but Jason, then he made saves.
He just goes the opposite of what Tom says. So basically, we should all pick against Columbus because he's not going to make any saves. From what I understand.
Look, I've been told. I'm very impressed with what Andrew Tarbell has done.
180 over here.
There was a question in the Slack chat, and I got really confused. I don't know what the question means. I mean, do I have like something up in the background? I'm just confused. I mean, whatever. Okay, we're figuring it out. But
Jason, you definitely have nothing in the background. I promise.
That's my point. I have nothing in the Slack chat.
Oh. Yeah, all my Slack chat says is fucking Sounders, man. That's from Tom. So.
Wearing a Sounders jersey. What is this?
I didn't mean Slack chat. I meant Twitch comments. You know, I'm still
learning. I don't have those.
It's fine. Whatever.
Oh, wait, here it is.
Yeah.
Question for my man in the green.
Me.
Jason, can you read that too? Or
Wait, I'm pulling it up.
What kind of hentai you watching recently?
Oh my god. Is that what it actually says? How do I see
yeah.
it?
Oh, it's definitely tentacle
Oh,
porn.
we can see this here.
But why me? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
From Royst Boy.
Yeah, okay.
Moist boy. I want to keep that one going for a while now.
All right. We're talking soccer. We're not
Oh
talking.
my God.
166. I love it.
We're not talking hentai.
No.
But okay, I'm going Andrew Tarbell. He's really impressed me. I talked shit last week. I understand that, but at the end of the day, he's played
took
really
10
well.
minutes to predict the goalie.
I have to give him their credit. I know. Moving on. Fuck it. Moving forward. We're no
Yes,
longer
I would start Stephen Fry for Seattle. I promise.
for
Just to
Seattle.
call it.
For Seattle.
Well, have you seen Steven Cleveland?
I'm out.
I'm a fire legend, man. Okay. For Seattle, we've seen every single playoff game. We've seen the fullback combo of Nouhou and Alex Roldan. Now, I thought against LAFC and against Dallas, they were very, very good. Both LAFC and Dallas, not the strongest offenses, and I'm talking LAFC without Diego Rossi and Brian Rodriguez. But would you continue to start Nouhou and Alex Roldan, or do you bring in Brad Smith and Kelvin Leerdam? Sam, I'll go to you first.
The disrespect to Shane O'Neill.
Center back.
I was going to say he doesn't play that position.
Oh, wait, what did you call? What did you say?
Nouhou and
Just
Alex
fullback.
Roldan, fullbacks.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, when you just try fullback. Fullbacks. So for the fullback, oh wait, let me get on screen. I would probably, and I mean, Nouhou obviously I think should be staying, no doubt. That man has earned his
100%.
spot. He's been playing amazing at least 2 years that I can remember. Like every time I watch him, he plays awesome out of his mind. And he's a heck of a shot for a left back too. Like he can hit one in the top corner when called upon. And Alex Roldan, I mean Roldan, like he's got it. I think I don't want to say the word hot because that'll just defeat my point from last argument. But he's been playing good. Like I don't see any reason to drop him unless he gets sick. Like he's good at what he's solid at the back. Can kind of do well going forward. I don't see a reason to stop.
And I disagree, and the only reason why is I thought against some poor offenses in these playoffs, Nouhou and Roldan have been fantastic, right? They've gotten upfield well, they've passed well, they've had some chance creations in the offense as well. But last game against Minnesota, it was a poor 65 minutes. Like I said, like in the beginning of it, just overall from Seattle. But I thought Alex Roldan had some passes that were ill-advised. I thought Nouhou looked better than Roldan, but still not fantastic. And in a final, I understand maybe you don't want to change up like too much with your starting 11 and the guys that you've had confidence in to get to this point. But Brad Smith has been a starting left back for you in an MLS Cup. Kelvin Leerdam has been a starting right back for you in an MLS Cup under this head coach. They both know the system. They both know what to do. I think they're both better players than Nouhou and Roldan, respectively. But I don't know. I'm going with the dudes who have won it for you before. I'm going with the dudes who have European experience, and I'm going with the dudes who are potentially best 11 players if they played every game healthy for an entire season at their positions at left back and right back. But Jason, do you have?
Are we allowed to mix and match?
You can, yeah.
Because I was thinking Nouhou and possibly Leerdam as the two that I would probably choose. I agree. Like Roldan, I'm not completely sold on. I mean, for this type of game too, this is a one-game final. I'm not totally confident in him, whereas I think you can be a little bit more confident in Nouhou. You can definitely be confident in Leerdam, as you've mentioned. But yeah, I think I would go with Leerdam and Nouhou
Okay. Okay. Cool. Got one last. Who would you start? And it comes down to another crew COVID case. This one, I don't think is like too much kind of argument about it. Maybe there is, and I'm not expecting it. But Derek Etienne Jr. and Luis Diaz, I think both similar type players. Derek Etienne Jr. has been the starter all season long for the crew. Luis Diaz has been a very good replacement guy off the bench, and he's done really well so far in these playoffs as well. Personally, for me, I'm starting Derek Etienne Jr. just because I like Derek Etienne Jr. a lot. I like his personality a lot, so maybe that's not really an on-the-field reason why, but I'm going DE. I'm going the Haitian Messi when possible.
I mean, Etienne Jr. is phenomenal. Like, you got to start.
Yeah, he is.
I didn't think we could. I'm not going to disagree, at least.
We got 1, 2, 3. Like, easy. Nice. That's where we're going.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. All right, Derek. If you're healthy, you're starting, man. That's it. I do feel like for a winger, though, COVID could be a little bit more of an issue than for like a goalkeeper.
Yeah, they're running a lot. I mean, it just depends on how he comes back from it, right? Like,
yeah.
I feel like
and
some
it depends
people
on what you have.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I also think like you're gonna see both of them in this game. If obviously Derek's healthy, you're gonna see both of them. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not too sure about that. Cool. Last question I had before you guys, if you guys had any points you wanted to make about this game, was what happens, and I feel like we've seen this for points in these playoffs. What happens if the Sounders' big three of Jordan Morris, Rui Diaz, and Nico Lodeiro kind of just disappear and go quiet for a large chunk of the game again, like I think they did against Minnesota? Well, are they? Because they did it against Minnesota.
Apparently, they're not. Is the thing
against Dallas?
I think they're. Yeah, I think they are a little bit. I think the crew, if that happens, like if they are just quiet for 60 minutes and are just doing nothing, the crew aren't just gonna sit there in. I mean, not that Minnesota did, not that Dallas did, but I don't know. I guess like my argument is kind of dumb because like you could say that like, oh, Minnesota didn't sit there. They had 2 goals, but they kind of blew it. I think it's a bit harder for a team like Seattle to blow it, like based on what we've talked about already with their defense and the ability to bring on Roman Torres. If, Roldan doesn't start, bring him on, or Torres or Leerdam or Brad Smith. Like they have that depth at the back where I think if they are up 2 goals and it's the 70th minute, they have that luxury to be able to bring those guys on and have those fresh legs. And I don't think they're going to concede a bunch of goals oh wait, I just totally.
You just went all over your argument twice, but I respect it because you talked yourself into a circle.
Oh my God, what did I just say? Wait,
I respect the hell out of that. You were going really good, so I was just letting you do it.
Great.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, my brain stopped working there for a moment. But I honestly don't even know what answer I gave.
You gave your answer, man.
I don't know what answer you gave either.
Yeah, that was it. Honestly, I'm not gonna try and splice that up. It's already recorded. It's already there. It's there for us. So.
I'm gonna do this, Sam.
It's in the universe.
Sam, are you concerned about that, or is that the question I made up out of thin air?
No. I mean, it clearly it showed reason for concern against Dallas and against Minnesota. So that's clearly an issue. But I feel like these guys just know, like in this kind of game, which they won last year, like this is a game for them. And I don't expect it to happen, but if it does, like Jason pointed out at some point, they've got the options on the bench like we talked about before.
That's my point.
Yeah, so like they can bring someone on to change the game. I think what this will come down to is that the game changers on the bench for Seattle are a lot easier to bring on and more prominent than a game changer on the bench for Columbus if things are a stalemate between 2 of the top defenses in MLS.
Yeah, my point actually was basically no for that reason.
Got it. Okay.
Thank you for talking coherently, Sam.
I got you.
Sam just read your mind and said it out loud. Exactly.
Right here.
I have to keep this sidebar chat on private chat, otherwise I just break out laughing because of this comment. Every time I look at it.
I know, it's awesome.
I hate you guys.
So
so funny.
So
So, do you guys have any questions or points you want to make about this game
yes,
before I dive into who's your pick and why?
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Sam.
This is something I'm actually really amazed we haven't talked about this yet. It's Caleb Porter going up against Seattle, the former Portland manager. Like, this is a big deal. This is a guy who came up through MLS and was like, I fucking hate Seattle. And now he's got a new team who, at first, he did not look like a good manager outside of Portland for a while. And, I mean, look at him now. He's got a system and a team that works well around him. And I think, not that I'm convinced that like that's a reason that Columbus would win, but I do think that that's worth talking about. A guy who, as Tom would say, knows how to play Seattle.
Does he though? Because I have stats to prove
No,
it.
he probably doesn't. I don't know.
My gosh,
I just want to talk about it.
Sam.
I love that he has stats about it though.
That's about it. So I do agree with you that Caleb Porter does know how to play Seattle because he's played Seattle a lot in his career. And I think it's a little unfair to say he was like really poor out of Seattle, out of Portland, because he was, but he also didn't really have like a full off season to get his guys in the door. And now that he does, like you said, Sam, like this is what he's done with it. So I'll give him that credit. But Caleb Porter against the Sounders all time. Played 22 games against the Sounders all time in his career.
It's a big sample.
5 draws and 10 losses. Not
3
great.
wins? What'd you say?
7 wins, 5 draws, 10 losses. Caleb Porter going up against SamXIII all time in his career has been 8 games, 1 win, 3 draws, 4 losses.
No, that's not a good look.
Professor's been there since 2011 or something like that. Caleb Porter, that is wrong.
Not great. Not great there. So sure, he knows how to play Seattle because he's played Seattle 22 times in his career, but I'm not going to say.
Does he know how to win against Seattle?
Good. That's a different question. Different question.
Does anyone in the chat want to answer that?
Moist boy.
I mean, it's a fair question, Sam, of kind of, or it's a fair storyline, right?
I was going to say, I think it's an exciting storyline.
Yes, and I like it, right? You also have 2 head coaches who are, I guess, relatively young in their coaching careers too, even because Porter's much younger by age, but SamXIII's younger just because he had to start a little bit later, I guess, head coaching. And they both have won MLS Cups. They've both been successful. So this is a really good matchup. Coaching wise, right? Like there's a lot of like history and there's a lot of winning for both of these coaches. So good point, Sam. Jason, did you say you had something?
Yeah, I have like one more point.
Okay.
To me, like you guys might disagree, but I feel like this game might be won and lost like with the midfield battle. Whether that's Nagbe, Artur, and Zelarayan versus like Christian Roldan. They start João Paulo, right?
Yeah.
And like Lodiero in the middle. And I think it really matters how they can kind of connect with their attack, right? Because sure, both teams have this great attack. They have Zardes up front for Columbus. You have, like we talked about many times already, Rui Diaz, Jordan Morris, Jovan Jones. But I think it's going to matter where is, Nagbe, Artur, Zelarayan, are they able to get Christian Roldan, Paulo on the back foot, not able to combine as well with their attack. And I think that sort of lends itself to how Seattle can be quieter in the attack, whereas like they have all this firepower, but if it's not getting to them easily, it's not, getting lit. But then for Columbus, I do feel like Nagbe, like Zelarayan, they can work in a bit tighter space and maybe bring that connection and maybe makes it a little easier. So I don't know. Maybe that's a question for you guys also. I don't know what the answer would be.
No, I think the initial point of you saying like, oh, the Sounders start João Paulo, right, is like telling in its own because it's like he's been very quiet. I'm not going to say he's been poor. I'm not going to say he's been great, but like
no, he hasn't been poor, but he hasn't been notable.
Right, yeah, and where you look at the two holding midfielders for the Sounders in Paolo and Roldan, and you look at the two holding midfielders for the Crew in Artur and Nagby, and Artur and Nagby have been like constant. You've seen them offensively, you've seen them, being a little bit more defensive, you've seen them controlling the midfield in possession, and I think the Crew win the midfield battle, or the Crew have the potential to win the midfield battle, because I'm not sold on it yet, but I feel like
Roldan is like not as great of a defensive midfielder, I guess, when I think about it, compared to like a Nagby, who is really a great box-to-box guy.
I think they come down to, but they like in midfield, they're playing different roles. Like Roldan's definitely like that deep-lying playmaker kind of role. And like you said, Nagby is more of that box-to-box, or even more of that destroyer that can come through and just play through anything. And I think if you give Roldan that space, that's when he'll succeed. But if he's going to be playing tight up on the rest of Columbus's midfield, it will be harder.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I think that's a very fair point. All right, cool. So you guys have anything else you wanted to mention before we get into picks and everything like that?
It's going to be a good game. I know that.
Okay, there we go. That's it. That was your pick. Good night, guys. Now.
What is that? 7:30? 8:30?
It is. I just asked. You want to ask your question?
Moist boy, what time?
Well, 7:30 for me.
Saturday.
That's why I was confused. Yeah.
All right. So.
Oh shoot! I thought it was on Sunday. Dang. Okay, I was wrong.
We talked about it being Saturday at the beginning.
I know. I made a whole point of it Saturday.
Yeah, and the whole time I was like, all right,
of the
Sunday, I'm ready. Because it's usually on a Sunday. Or no, it was on a Saturday. I don't know.
Sunday. Sam, I said Saturday. Sunday.
I'm ready.
All right.
I'm really ready to watch it on DVR.
I want to just say our pick so far through these playoffs before I get to.
No, we don't got to do that.
No, I have the worst pick, so I'll.
Okay. All right, you can say it. Yeah,
okay.
If you're saying that.
So we picked 14 of the 16 games in this postseason. Like I said last episode, we just missed 2 due to just timing and scheduling of the podcast. So I've had the worst percentage, or I guess the worst whatever pick record in the Jason. I can just I can ban you from this thing. That's what it says. Ban guests.
Ban.
Yeah, just ban.
I'm not guest.
You and Moist Boy, gone.
Whoa!
Moist Boy.
He's asking real questions here.
That's a loyal listener. Probably.
Showed up for the first pod. On the Twitch.
He's a day one.
The
Twitch.
Of the 14 games we picked, I have the worst record at 7-7. Again.
Oh, so
500, that's not bad.
I mean, Jason, like you said last week, you win big with me, but you lose big with me too.
Yeah, it still holds true, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just.
This is just a bummer though, because for the MLS Cup, you're either going to be plus or minus, and that's just unhelpful.
I'll be plus.
No, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Jason, you finished middle of the three of us. You went 8-6. You fell off a little bit. You were good for a little bit, but
I was right there though. If I just picked 6 games more correctly, I would have been.
You would have been 14-0.
So close.
Insane.
This close, right, Sam?
This guy. Oh my god.
I think I'm rethinking the whole video thing. I'm really, really rethinking because all I'm gonna get is this now.
Just a little bit of that.
And Sam, you finished with the best record, 10-4 through 14 games. So
thank you.
That reminds me of the dance that in Ted Lasso. You've seen it, right?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh yeah.
I have to spend the money for Apple TV. I have all the streaming services but Apple TV Plus.
Yeah.
So I gotta work on it.
I don't know. There's a way to find it. It's gotta be
all right. I'll check it out. So there's a dance.
But he pulled it and it's really funny. It's super funny.
Right.
After my pick wins, I'm just gonna go. Yeah.
So Sam, since you had the best record, I'm gonna let you pick. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I would love to go first. I don't mind.
I had no choice.
Yeah, for the first pick in the MLS Cup Finals draft. Seattle Sounders. It's for me, it's a no-brainer. I just think this team is built as we already talked about tonight. Starters, subs, from goalkeeper to striker. That team is just built to win this game. I'm very confident in that pick.
Okay. Jason, do you want to go next? I thought you froze for a second. You were just like nice and
because I picked it before the pod and then I unpicked it and then I picked it again.
Unpicked your pick.
Jason,
I'm just flopping back and forth here. I'm trying to figure out.
Do you want time?
Right. No. I got it. I'm gonna pick the Columbus Crew.
Bad pick.
Of course you are.
Shitty pick.
See, now I already don't want it.
The Crew has already been saved. It's fine. We don't need to win MLS Cup so that they don't move to Austin.
What? No,
your mind is
fine. Your pick is bad. That's what I'm saying.
I'm picking the Crew, and I think that they're gonna win. I think Eli Room's coming back. I think he's gonna just nothing's past him.
Nope, not a thing.
And then
shutout. You're picking a shutout win for the Crew. That's what you just said.
Yeah.
The Crew's best advantage is that they're at home, and yet they don't have fans.
Yeah, they do. They got about 15 of them.
Those are like the parents of the players.
Wow. Jason might be hated by the Crew community right now.
What? I picked the Crew.
You just said they have 15 fans.
At their stadium, not in general.
That's fucked, man. You just said they
have 15. We're just going to cut that clip out and throw it on Twitter.
Yeah. So, Jason.
Tom, let's
I got
hear your
berated for my pick.
Okay. I'm going to go all pick. I feel like my pick has been pretty obvious all episode long. If you've been paying,
LAFC, we know.
God, I know they're good. Stop.
It's like, jeez, bro. I know they got Diego Rossi.
I mean, look, if we want to talk about that, I picked LAFC to be super dominant last year. No one else did, but fine, whatever.
No,
but,
I'm sure someone else did.
No,
and clearly they won an MLS Cup for it. Wait.
I mean, did I say they were going to win? I just said they were going to be really dominant.
No, you actually picked them.
Like,
yeah.
Wait, Jason, real quick, were you flip-flop? Did you, when you started this morning, did you go, all right, Columbus, and then you said you started, and then you lost it?
I picked Seattle
back
before the pod.
So you picked Seattle, and then you stopped, and then you picked them again, and then you stopped, and then you picked Columbus.
No. So I picked Seattle, and then I was like, maybe Columbus. And then I picked Seattle, and I was very confident in the second time. The first time I was pretty confident. The second time I was like, damn, Seattle just got too much power, right? And then
they do.
I was thinking it through, I was like, if this is a tight game and Columbus is pressing hard, Sam can't even look. I don't think that the midfield with Roldan and Paulo are gonna be able to get these balls bopping all over the field. Okay,
the bopping
got him. That was it.
This makes more sense now. It's the bopping in midfield.
Nagby, Zelarayan, Arturo, these guys are gonna bop them.
They can bop. I will give you that. They can bop.
They have the ability to bop. Yes. All right. So I'm going Seattle. Pretty much kind of a similar point of what you said, Sam. I think they're dominant. They're dominant in the attack. If people are not performing or whatever it may be, they have the depth off the bench to really just come up and change the game. I'm going to be a little different because I want us to make a very, very super specific pick.
Okay.
It is going to be a 0-0 game until about the 75th minute.
Oh, God, I thought you were going to say extra time.
You're just setting yourself up for failure.
I do that every day of my life, Jason. I set myself up every day. It's going to be 0-0 until the 75th minute. Smetcher's going to sub on Will Bruin because, Rui Diaz is going to have a quiet game up until that point. Will Bruin's going to come on, have a lot of the attention.
And Jonathan Mensah's just going to...
Yeah, on to Will Bruin, and Rui Diaz is going to be wide open. Rui Diaz is going to score the game today. 1-0.
You got me there.
There you go. There you go.
All right, well,
They're gonna get
against
one goal.
Tom's
You're
point-
picking 1-0.
1-0.
I'm picking 2-0. Columbus.
Ooh, I didn't know we were picking scores here.
I whipped it out of my ass. You can too.
I just have this feeling now that Rui Diaz is going to score in the first 15 minutes because of Tom.
I think Zardes is going to score at 59 minutes and 13 seconds.
That's the 60th minute, bro.
Yeah,
Can't help you.
You're into the 60th minute, bro. That's it. You're done.
So, yeah, if we're going to – I'm not picking a score. I'm not doing that. 3-1. 3-1 Seattle.
So, Sam, does Jordan Morris get involved into your scoreline?
Jordan Morris at least gets 1 assist.
That's MVP Jordan Morris.
Yeah, well, the GOAT. Jordan Morris.
He gets
Former Rookie of the Year, Jordan Morris.
I'm making enemies here.
Yeah. Well,
A whole fan base.
You literally picked the right team, and then you said, nah.
And then you said Jordan Morris was MVP. So,
Well, I mean, I'm happy with that part.
No, not of MLS Cup.
He will be, though.
Yeah.
Not this time. Yeah.
Jordan Morris hat trick, he has to go to Europe at that point. Has to.
I'll fly him there myself.
Or you can't fly to Europe money for not even you? Can he even go to Europe right now? Don't they all not like us over there?
What'd you say?
I assume you have more money than I do. There's just a dog walking by itself at my window right now. I'm sorry.
What's its name?
I don't know, but it looks like a
Jordan Morris.
It's Jordan. Whatever.
This is actually how Sam picked the game. There was 2 dog food bowls on each side of his window.
That dog
picked the Seattle one.
Yeah. I mean, so remember the main reason why Jordan Morris said he didn't want to go to Europe when he first came out of college?
Yes, parents bought him a dog.
Yeah, maybe that's.
And he had a girlfriend.
No, maybe that's the dog.
It's a sign.
Yeah, there you go. Jordan Morris MVP. And on that,
never forget when Jermaine Jones came out and called him the biggest wussy. And now Jermaine Jones is going literally psycho.
He's gone psycho he's been psycho. Have you seen him play soccer?
Have you seen him lately? He's coaching somewhere, isn't he? He's coaching. Hold up.
I'm sure he's in a Schalke youth system.
It's called soccer, you wankers.
Thank you. That's really good. Wait, when did Jermaine Jones play for the Ontario Fury? What the heck?
Indoor soccer, baby. Come on.
Indoor soccer.
The MASL.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. All
right.
Show me coaching. I got nothing.
Okay. Nope. Okay. That was it. Sam got nothing to finish off the show. Everyone, if you've been watching or you watch in the future or whatever it may be, thank you for watching our first ever stream. That's it. MLS Cup is done. We have 2 picks to 1 that Seattle Sounders are winning MLS Cup this year for another fucking year. Goddamn.
That 3rd star.
I mean, you can't be upset unless it happens yet. Also, you picked them, so you still can't be upset. So.
Yeah, because Seattle's burned me with me trying to pick against them. So fuck it, I'm picking them. That's reverse psychology of this bitch. Let's go. You're
saying I picked the right team. No, don't say it out loud. Don't say it out loud. Don't even make that. Don't make those indications. Stop it.
You're wrong.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
What is going on?
Everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, whatever it may be. It's been another episode of the MLSAces podcast. We'll see if we do this again next week. I don't think this, but we'll see.
A little bit.